आप सभी का स्वागत है पहाड़ी ट्यूटर चैनल में। मैं हूं अक्षत बिष्ट। जैसा कि आपको पता है, हमने इस चैनल पे एक कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम के लिए सीरीज स्टार्ट की है। जैसा कि आपको पता है, हमने पॉलिटी सब्जेक्ट से स्टार्ट किया था। हमने हमारी पॉलिटी की अभी तक 8 क्लासेस हो चुकी है। अगर आपने अभी तक देखी नहीं है तो अब हमारे चैनल में जाकर आप देख सकते हैं। पॉलिटी, इंडियन पॉलिटी नाम से प्लेलिस्ट है। और जैसे कि आपको पता है, हमने अभी तक वेरियस शेड्यूल्स, वेरियस पार्ट और वेरियस आर्टिकल्स के बारे में पढ़ा। वैसे ही आज हमने कुछ क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस भी करी। वैसे ही आज हम कुछ क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस करेंगे। उससे पहले हम पढ़ेंगे इमरजेंसी पावर के बारे में। इमरजेंसी पावर्स आर दोज पावर विच आर एंजॉयड बाय प्रेसिडेंट. We gave him a special provision, a special power in our constitution, which is directly comes under Article 352, which tells about national emergency. Basically, it implemented by a president on aid or advice of Council of Ministers when at the time of war or external aggression. Okay? Basically, this article, this power implemented by a president on the ground of war. Basically, that's it. Okay, now moving to our other article, which is Article 356. It tells about state emergency. State emergency. Basically, President implement this power on advice of governor when a state government fail to perform his duty and lose his confidence in their constituencies. I mean, if government lose their confidence in legislative assembly, then governor advise president to be implement a state emergency. It only can extend 6 months, and after 6 months you have to conduct an election, or you can extend this further, but only for 6 months. Remember this, 6 months. Okay? Now moving to our other article, that is Article 360. Article 360 basically talks about financial emergency. What? Financial emergency. Basically, president implement this emergency when there is when there not enough sufficient to run the country. It means you have too much loans, your government at a position of bankruptcy and all. Okay, at that time president implement financial emergency. He will reduce the salaries of government officials and take various steps to recover from the emergency. Okay, now these are the important articles which frequently asked in exams. So remember this: Article 352, national emergency; Article 356, state emergency; Article 360, financial emergency. And don't think that president have their own discretionary power. No. It all is happening on an advice of, it may be on governor in terms of state emergency, and while national emergency or financial emergency, it will directly consulted by a council of ministers. Basically, remember this. Okay. Now we will solve few questions here which are directly asked in exams. Okay, these are your some PYQs which I aggregated from most of the most prominent exams or popular exams, just like SSC, RRB and CDS. Okay, first question. Let me change the color of the pen. Wait a second, guys. I think this one is good. Which of the following objective of the Indian Constitution? First one, to establish dictatorship. Does in our India there is a dictatorship? No. This one is not. Which of the following is the to establish a federal government? Okay, we can consider this. To establish a democratic republic. Okay, and to limit the government. I think I am going with this answer because to limit the power of government is a primary objective of our Indian Constitution. It means government don't have the full power to. There is a division of power, separation of power. That's why we have distribution of power. Okay, remember this. Which part of the Indian Constitution deals with the union and territories? Parts first. I know the answer is this one. Okay? But we will discuss all the questions. That is the main purpose of the solving the questions here. Okay. Part second, which talks about citizenship. Okay. Part third, which talks about fundamental rights. Part fourth, which talks about DPSPs. And fourth, A talks about fundamental duties. Now first deals with the union and its territories. Okay, remember this. Who is the author of the book The Constitution of India? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. This is statistical based question. You can remember this. Okay. Which article of Indian Constitution defines the citizenship? Simple. Article number 5. Mentioned in part second. Okay. Article 6 talks about the immigrant of Pakistan at the time of partition. Article 11 talks about law making provision are directly held to Parliament. Parliament has the power to make the law on citizenship. Okay. Article 12 talks about the state. Defines the what is a state, what you consider as a state. Okay. Now moving to our fifth question. The Constitution of India is primarily based on the political philosophy of which of the following? Is this question asking you on which philosophy our Constitution has been made? Everyone are equal. As you know, that is the main feature of our Constitution, which is socialism. Not liberalism, not Marxism, and not even Gandhi's ideology. Gandhi's ideology we implemented in our DPSPs. You can see there are the many articles which are directly based on Gandhian ideology. Cooperative of society, cottage making, and liquor prohibition. Article 47. Okay. Now, which of the following is not a feature of Indian Constitution? First of all, our Constitution is written Constitution. Okay. Written Constitution means everything is sequence wise basically. Okay. UK don't have unwritten constitution. There is no sequence, okay, of the articles. Rigid constitution. Wait a second. Federal system. Yes, we have federal system. We have union government and state government. We taken it from Canada. Secularism. every religion are equal. Okay, so your answer is rigid constitution. Basically, rigid constitution means there you have a difficulty to amend a article. No, you don't have any difficulty to amend an article. You can easily amend the article by a simple majority, as mentioned in Article 368. Okay, now the Constitution of India was adopted on which date? This date is mentioned in preamble. Okay, 26 November 1949. Remember this. On 26 January 1950, we celebrated as Republic Day because we started, and because the Constitution started to it came in effect basically, but it adopted on 26 November 1949. Which part of the Constitution deals with the fundamental right? Basically, fundamental right are mentioned in Part 3rd, and Part 2nd talks about citizenship. Part 4 talks about DPSPs, and Part 5th talks about the President, Vice President, and Attorney General of India. Remember this, okay? You thinking then how you learn all these parts and articles? No, bro, I didn't learn this. I just practice the questions, and it automatically comes in my mind and automatically printed in my mind. Okay? Which articles of the Constitution provides for the suspension of fundamental rights during the emergency? If there is a national emergency, your fundamental rights are dissolved, except Article number 20 and 21. Article 21, protection from let me thinking about it. Protection from conviction. Basically, protection from conviction, it means no one can, during emergency, no official can convict you for no offense, basically. And Article 21, protection of life and personal liberty. No one can hurt you. Okay, basically it means, please, my writing is not good, so I am just listen my words. Okay, don't go on my writing. Basically, Article 20, protection from conviction. Article 21, protection of life and personal liberty. Okay, now the answer of this question is article number 352. Okay, which of the following is the highest court appeal? It means which court having a highest cases and appealing, that is Supreme Court, not High Court, not District Court, not Lok Adalat. Okay, now moving to next slide. Which 11th question, which of the following statement is correct regarding the Parliament of India? Our Parliament of India basically consists of President, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, so your correct answer is President, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Answer number A. Okay. Who among the following is responsible for the appointment of Chief Election Commissioner? The appointment, who? President. Chief Justice of India, no. Election Commission of India, no. Duty of Election Commission of India is just to conduct the election, not the appointing his chief. The appointment of his chief is directly on the hand of President. Which of the following is not a part of directive principle of state policy? First, right to equality, right to freedom, right to adequate mean of livelihood, right to social. Here, there are mistake in this question. The right to equality and right to freedom are fundamental duties, fundamental rights, not your DPSPs. Okay. Who among the following is responsible for the protection of Constitution of India? When I'm teaching you about the president, I told you that president is preserver, protector and defender of Constitution. So your right answer is president. Okay, and moving to our fourth slide. Fifth question, the idea of the fundamental duties of the Indian citizen is borrowed from which country constitution? We borrowed fundamental duties from USSR, and from USA we adopted fundamental right, and from UK we adopted single citizenships, and from Canada we adopted federal system and residuary power, which is mentioned in Article 348. Okay, remember this. Which article of Indian Constitution deals with the distribution of legislative powers and union of the state? So basically the answer of this question is Article 246. Okay, the term republic in the context of Indian Constitution referred to which of the following? Basically republic means we don't follow the anarchy system here. We have a democratic country. So republic means absence of monarchy. Okay. Which schedule of Indian Constitution lists the language recognized in official language? Basically there are 22 official languages, and we held 3 amendments in this. 21st amendment we insert Sindhi language in this, and the 71st amendment we inserted Nepali, Konkani and Manipuri in this, and by 92nd amendment we put Bodo, Dongri, Santhali and Santhali, Mathili. Okay, Bodo, Dongri, Santhali, Mathili in this. Okay, so first schedule talks about the union and its territory. 8th schedule talks about our right answer is 8th schedule, and 10th schedule which we enacted in our constitution by 56th amendment, and that is anti-defection, and 12th schedule which we enacted in our constitution and schedule list by 74th amendment, that is municipalities. Which of the following is a feature of Indian federal system? Basically, Indian federal system means there is a government, dual government. It means you have union government and state government. So we are talking about which of the following is a feature of Indian federal system. Indian federal system basically means we have a union government and state government basically. So we have dual government, not dual judiciary, not dual parliament, not dual single citizenship. Indian federal means dual government basically. Okay. Now moving to next slide, that is question number 20. The power to amend the constitution is provided to which of the article? Basically it is mentioned in Article 368. So your correct answer is Article 368. Okay? Article 52 is talk about the national emergency, and Article 370 which is given which gives a special provision to a state, which we abolished from Jammu Kashmir, in 2019. Article 370 we revoked it. It gives a special right, a special provision to state. Okay. Which part of Indian Constitution deals with the union executive powers? Basically, as I have told you in previous slide about a part 5th, which talks about union executive. It consists of president, vice president, attorney general of India and other. Okay? And part 4 talks about DPSP. Part 6 talk about states. No, wait, sorry, my mistake. Not part 4. Part 4 talks about states. Part 4 DPSP. Part 6 talks about union executive, as I taught you in previous slide. And part 3 talks about fundamental rights. Okay. Now, which of the following is the correct order of precedence in your hierarchy? It means from higher to lower. First president, second vice president, second chief justice of India, and third governor. That's the answer. That's the correct answer. Which is the minimum age for the person to be elected as a president? It is 35 years. Okay. Who among the following was not a member of drafting committee? First, I will tell you who are the members of drafting committee. Drafting committee chairman was B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. First member, there are total 6 members, including chairman. First members, A.K. Iyer, second N. Gopala Swamy Iyengar, third K.M. Munshi, fourth B.L. Mittal, and fifth D.P. Khaitan. Okay, these are the member of drafting committee. Remember this, okay? One of the posts, and they are posts, and you can see Dr. B.R. Ambedkar were in committee. Jawaharlal are not in committee, and Mahatma Gandhi are not in committee. A.K. Iyer, Aladi Kesaswamy are in committee. Okay, remember this. Remember all the 6 names, please. Most important for your exams. Frequently asked in your question exam that who is the member, who among the following are the members of drafting committee. So remember the names. Okay. Under which article of the Constitution of President India election? Article number 54. Related to the there shall be the President of India. Which of the following is not a function of Parliament? Basically, function of Parliament is legislative, executive, and financial, but not judicial. We made other body to perform this function, judicial. That is Supreme Court, not Parliament. Okay. The preamble, that is introductory part of our Constitution, of the Indian Constitution, contains a brief outline of which of the following? It contains brief outline of following is not government structure, not fundamental rights, not DPSP. You see, there is a fundamental right in our Constitution, in a preamble. You see a DPSP in our preamble. No, there is an objective and philosophy of the Constitution and introduction of our Constitution, that of what things our Constitution is made of, on which basis our Constitution is made. That mentioned in our Constitution or in our preamble. Which article of Indian Constitution deals with the duties of Prime Minister? Basically, it comes under Article 75. Okay. Now moving to our other slide, on 29 question, which of the following is the legislative power of President? Basically, there are some legislative powers of President. He has ordinance power, he has power to can dissolve Lok Sabha, and he has a veto power to preserve the bill, to revoke the bill, to send for reconsideration for bill. Okay, so all of the above is answered. Who was the first president of India? Woman president. Who? Pratibha Patil. So Sarojini Naidu was first first woman governor of Indian state. Indira Gandhi was first female prime minister. Sushma Swaraj was 5th CM of Delhi. Okay, remember this. Which schedule of Indian Constitution deals with the allocation of seat? You seeing that? I already taught you about the schedules in previous videos, and same direct questions coming from those theory. which schedules deals with the allocation of seats. That is Schedule 4. First schedule talks about the names and the Union Territory of India. Seven basically talks about the distribution of powers, which is Congress list, Union list, and state list. And 10th schedule, anti-defection or disqualification. Which of the following is power of Rajya Sabha? To create new state? No, because there is an recommendation of president also needed. Declaration of war? No, it is on government of India, government of country to approve government of India. The approval of the appointment of judge? No, it is on the basis of CJI and president. To amend the constitution? Yes, there are. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal power to amend the constitution. So your correct answer is D. The constitution of India adopted on which date? That is, it is mentioned on our preamble, that is 26 November 1949. What does the Article 21A of Indian Constitution guarantee? Article 21 basically it is based on protection of life and personal liberty. So your correct answer is this. And right to equality is comes under Article 14, and right to freedom comes, freedom of speech comes under Article 19, and right to freedom of assembly comes under Article 19, Clause 1st, Part A. Remember this, okay? Again, a statistical based question. Who was the first CJI of India? Who is Harilal J.K. Sudan's Kaniyal? The jurisdiction of the Supreme Court extend to all the following except. It means in which matters Supreme Court have powers. First, writ jurisdiction. Yes, Supreme Court have power to issue a writ. Appellate jurisdiction. It means he can appeal for an jurisdiction to a lower court or lower courts. Advisory jurisdiction, it means he can give an advice to high courts or district courts on any particular, on a certain jurisdiction. But legislative jurisdiction, it means does Supreme Court has the power to make a law? No, Supreme Court don't have any power to make a law, but Parliament have power to make a law. Remember this. And this is yes. The President of India is elected by the Electoral College consisting of member of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and elected member of legislative assemblies and UTs, two UTs, Delhi and Puducherry. Remember this. So all of these not nominated members comes in the election of president. Which of the following is the part of Indian Parliament? Indian Parliament, which is not part of our Indian Parliament basically. So in our Indian Parliament, it consists of President, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So your answer is Chief, because here mentioned not. So Chief Election Commission is not a part of Indian Parliament. Okay. Now moving towards other slide. Question number 39. Which part of the Indian Constitution refer to the conscience of the Constitution? So we say conscience of our Constitution to our fundamental right because it guaranteed to give us a protection, life protection. That's why we call it conscience of Constitution. And preamble, it is a introduction of our Constitution. DPSTBs is known as instrument of instruction. Remember this. Okay, fundamental duties we don't say anything about it. Which of the following is a feature of federal state? Basically, federal state means a division of powers. It means you have a union government and state government. Okay, so answer D. What is the maximum term of Lok Sabha? Basically, the maximum term of Lok Sabha is 5 years and maximum term of Rajya Sabha is 6 years. So remember this, okay, 5 years. And the smallest term of Lok Sabha, which Lok Sabha is smallest term? So that is 12th Lok Sabha, and longest term of which Lok Sabha is 5th Lok Sabha. Remember this, okay? Which of the following statement is correct about Rajya Sabha? Basically, Rajya Sabha. The members comes in Rajya Sabha is directly elected from. So now which of the following state is correct? Statement is correct about the Rajya Sabha. It is directly elected. So first I will tell you about the election of Rajya Sabha. Basically, the election of Rajya Sabha, it is based on indirect election. Indirect election means single transferable vote. Legislate from every legislative assemblies. There is we have fixed numbers of pupils coming from every state, which is directly elected, which is indirectly elected from the state legislative assemblies, and that is your answer is it is an indirect election by member of legislative assemblies of every state of India. ठीक है, remember this. Which of article give the president have power to proclaim emergency? Article 50 no. I already teach you about this. The power in the starting of the video we learn about the emergency power, that is Article 52 and Article 56 also. Here are both B and C are answer. Now moving to our other question, that is 44. The Supreme Court of India was established under Article, so that is Article 24. Remember this, okay? Supreme Court made under Article 24. The President of India can exercise his power during the national emergency only after as I teach you in starting that the president don't have their own discretionary power and don't have power during the emergency. He only work on the pleasure, or you can say on advice of union ministers or prime minister. Okay, what is the minimum? So your answer is B. What is the minimum number of states required to ratify an amendment? If you want to amend an part of a constitution, you need approval. Ratify means approval of more than of 50% state of India. Okay, at least. Which of the following article of India Constitution related to the amendment procedure? From notes, that is Article 368. Okay. Now moving to our third last question of the day. Which of the following is not a fundamental right in Indian Constitution? Right to equality, Article 14. Article freedom of speech, Article 19. Right to education, Article 21A, which we made through Amendment 86th. Remember this, important. And right to property. This is not an fundamental right. This is legal right, and we removed it from fundamental right by 44th Amendment and put in Article 300A. Remember this. Okay. Which article provides the protection of minorities? First, Article 15 talks about untouchability. Article 16 talks about equal opportunity in employment. Article 29, your correct answer is protection of right to minority. And Article 30 is a right of minority to establish or administrate a religious institution. Which of the following provision was introduced by the 42nd Amendment? 42nd Amendment, this amendment is also called mini constitution. We made many changes in our constitution by this amendment. So remember this 42nd Amendment. So by 46th Amendment, we made our fundamental duties. By whom? Swarn Singh Committee in 1976. Okay, remember this, 1976 by Swarn Singh Committee. Remember this. Okay. So that's all for today. Now I will take your leave. I will take leave now. Thank you.